Good afternoon. After lunch, it's really difficult for speakers to have the very keen attention to speech from audiences. I really enjoyed the presentation by Google's and in our modern societies, and Google has quite a big contribution to us. But personally, I have some comment because I have 100 students at Waseda universities in one term. And I asked my student, how many students have my book, textbook? Only 3 of them purchased my textbook in the beginning of the class. And I asked, why you didn't buy my book? Because they can get any copy from Google. So Google is better than me, even my paper. So, but I appreciated the Google working very good for innovation things. And I'm working in many organizations except Waseda universities, and you don't need to get any explanation about my career. But I ask you again, how many government do you need in one country? We are talking about e-government, right? But we have digital government. Somebody say smart government in the smart Thailand. Mobile government with the smartphone. And open government is very popular among the OECD working group on the internet. And connected government. Even between Japan and Korea, we have the U-government, ubiquitous government. And innovative government, invented government, and green government with the environment issues. Maybe some more. So you can think about the comprehensive shape of the government. Maybe we need only one government in one country, but actually we have so many virtual government. And today we talk about the integrations. And this is also very intellectual audiences here today, so you don't need to get any further information. Cloud computing and big data. Also BCP for disaster. Social media, including Google's. Digital inclusion, e-participations. And most important things is cyber securities and privacy protections. That's the top priority, I guess. And again, I say mobile government. And in Smart Thailand, you have the public Wi-Fi network in Thailand. And the Nakhon Yonak province is one of the test beds. And the governor of that province is now the Parliament secretaries of the MICT. It's very interesting. Yes, I talked with your minister on this last night during the dinner. This public Wi-Fi network is very, very pioneer for the rest of the world because it's a very low cost, very easy access. And easy to get the ordinary peoples. Everybody has the mobile phone now in Thailand. So it should be a very good priority there. And open government and open data is something different from big data, of course. And we need some transparencies. Also government to web application. So this 2.0 now, some countries saying at 3.0 already. And one-stop service. You don't need to go so many different agencies, ministries, and city hall to get the some acceptance of the submissions or applications. And last one is the interoperabilities and the standardizations. If we don't have this kind of standardizations, you cannot use the mobile phone in other countries, right? So this is the most important trend now in the so-called world of the e-government. And challenge and priority agenda for CIO and e-governance. If we say the history of the human being in the last 2 centuries, we are changing from industrial societies to information societies. But now in Japan and the developed countries, we are facing the information society plus aging society. We need the convergence of 2 societies for integration of our social system, economic systems. Also in the last century, we didn't have the mobile phone, even internet. But the recent centuries, computers invented. Everybody talking about the ICT accessibilities. Now, somebody taking care of the availabilities, increasing digital inclusion, decreasing digital divide. But also at the same time, we are facing with the affordabilities. 1 decade ago, the one personal computer is more than $2,000 in Japan. Now we can get $1,000 for very good personal computers. So reducing the price makes the more common deployment of the broadband. Also, usability is an issue. We have many applications by innovation and many sophisticated content, including Google. When we started in Japan for deployment of nationwide fiber optical broadband about 10 years ago, I was the member of the Prime Minister's IT strategies commissions and the Ministry of Communications asked me to comment. And I told them it's very stupid to have a superhighway without content. We have the very nice highway for the automobiles. But some highway in Japan has only a few cars one day because we didn't need such a superhighway. We need some superhighway because of the traffic jam. So we should have prioritized the content, broadband as the infrastructures. So usabilities, how people want to use is the issue for applications. Okay. And digital divide to digital opportunity, and now we are talking about digital inclusions at United Nations, and it is okay for me to be a member of the UN expert on this field. But we need more access to people who have not. Okay? All the experts of the United Nations, including me, belong to people with good access, hub people. Also, we are now in the stage of the local, national, globals. We should speak on the three different stages of the e-government. And government-led initiative in the past. Now we have very strong stakeholder like a citizen. So all the issues on e-government online services should be citizen-centric, ICT-driven, especially by social media. For example, we have the very sad, huge East Japan earthquake, and I will tell you again later. The most important communication is not telephones, not internet, ordinary internet. It's social media among the injured area. The people there, they can just contact with the friends and sending the picture of the damage of the rivers or houses. Local government could not provide such informations because shortage of the manpower. But the people there just send the message to the people all over Japan what they need, what's the situations in Fukushima nuclear plant. So social media for e-government is very important in the future in this country as well. And another one is the rural community to urbanizations. You should not be surprised. 90% of Japanese will live in cities very soon. Only 10% is left in rural area for farmers. Maybe Singapore, maybe already 90% living in city. I don't find any farmers in Singapore. But all over the world, people is gathering in the big city, mega city, or smart cities. So there are some big income gap, information gap between the city and the rural area is expanded in the future. So e-government must solve this issue too. And cybersecurity and relation of central and local government is really depend on the what I said, big central government and big cities and small but they scattered in the countries. So we need a relationship, linkage. Also cybersecurity in rural area because they are not aware of the risk of the cyber attack. Just they are thinking about the internet is a good thing, but somebody is very bad things for internet. So e-government and e-governance is one of the very important vehicles for future societies. And this is aging societies, but not yet in Thailand, but you have to be careful about the future. Everybody become older and older and living longer and longer. Just you can think the average life of Japanese people, not here in Bangkok, but in Tokyo. Women live until 90 years old, 90. And mine is below, it's 84 or so. I don't know why the men must die earlier than females, women. But 90 years. We finished our education is 22. They have no education after that. Is that okay for the human life without any education, innovation? So we should have some more attractive program for aging societies. Of course, 70% of the victims in typhoon, earthquake, tsunami in Japan is aging people. They couldn't run out to the hills or mountains or running up to top of the house. 60% of the injured people in the traffic, as drivers or just walking people, is also aging people. They don't have the good eyesight. They are not good hearing. So we need some ICT application, and the government must do for assisting them to be a happy life. So this is our project of the Waseda University with APEC and OECD and some government universities. So a lot of things to do by e-government and chief information officers in this world. Especially chief information officer must know about the business continuity plans. Otherwise, recovery period is so long. You know, if you know the very good chief information officers, he must know how to recover the entire system of the internet, telecommunications, whatever. If you have very poor CIOs, it takes 2 months, 3 months. You know, economy is shrinking in this area. So I hope you can really select a good chief information officer during the disaster. Also, good CIO can work for the national economic growth. Should be more dynamic recovery of the economies, like Japan. You know, we have the new prime minister last year, end of last year. He's pushing the Japanese economy is booming. And chief information of the Japanese government is working for new national strategies on ICT. Because ICT industries, as you know, is the biggest industry in Japan and the most influential factors for economic growth. So if you see me again within 2 years, Japan be back to one of the top of the world economy again. Even now, Japan is number 3 in the world. US, China, and Japan as the size of the economies. But we are pushing back to everything in the old things and getting new innovating things afford. That's the work of the chief information officer. And as you know, the Waseda University has international ranking on the e-government, starting the 2005, and we have now the 50 countries in our targeted countries. And there are many, many things to do among the researchers on this work. But we can show the best practice of the e-government in the world, and you can learn lessons from these studies. And we have the 7 indicators, starting the network preparedness and management optimizations as the enterprise architecture for deployment of the broadband, also efficiency and productivities for workers in the government. And e-service or online services is very popular now in Japan. And we have the e-tax systems for taxpayers. There are many different types of the e-payment and so on. But still we need more improvement of new e-services, like e-health and national portals. I'm checking all the national portals in each country some country in Africa has a very nice national portal. I doubt why they have the good national portal with only 2% of the population has the internet. And I asked the government officers, oh, sorry, Professor Orbis, we asked the American PR company to handle the national portals. It's outsourcing. This is only for the PR of the government. Nothing with our peoples, because our people has only 2% who has the internet. You know, so we are very careful about any data on the portals, URL, homepage. And also you have the indicators on government CIO. When I'm traveling a lot all over the world every year, and some government deputy ministers told me, oh, Professor Orbis, we don't have this government CIO, but we have many IT directors. And I asked him, why is no CIOs and many IT directors? We don't need, because we don't have such a peoples to be top of the CIOs. You know, so this is kind of the orchestras without conductor. Everybody doing different things. You know, CIO is the conductor of the orchestras, harmonizing all the ICT activities, budgeting, planning, procurement, e-services, or sometimes very severe for budget cutting. Okay? So we are checking very carefully about the function of CIO in each government. Of course, I'm the president of the International Academy of CIO, so I'm very happy to work on these issues very carefully. And e-government promotion. In Japan, they have started the very interesting 1 week called the e-government week in October. So everybody must think about e-government 1 week. So I told my minister, what happens the other weeks? They don't need to think about. So we need the e-government thinking for 365 days, 24 hours a day, because it's available. It's e-government. And e-participation is really new and very popular in Europe and the United States. Everybody wants to participate in politics or decision makings. And social media is one of very good vehicles. But we need some kind of, not regulation, but guidelines, you know. So we are checking the e-participations, how it's work. And now we decided yesterday, officially, we may have the new indicators for next year. One is cyber securities. You know, that's most important issues for government. Second is the linkage between central and local government. In Thailand, I forget how many provinces, it's like 79 or so. And you have one central government. So you have 79, for example, governor. So they need really good harmonized linkage. This is the new indicators. And open data and open government is the issue. Because the taxpayer needs the government information. Should not be red tape. So we added these three for next year's survey on international ranking. I hope you may enjoy the our outcome of research. And we have only two more slides. This is the e-government policies in Japan, and maybe you can read very carefully. It's very small words, but you can get some circles in 2001. It's very epoch-making year to introduce the so-called the Basic Act on the formation of the advanced information and telecommunication network societies. And we established the IT strategy headquarters. Chair is the Prime Minister, and I used to be a member of this group. So that 2001 is our year for e-government. And of course, we have many things before that. And every year, we are checking the e-government very carefully. This year, we have the new strategies called the most advanced IT nation in the world, just like Smart Thailand, phase 2 or so. So we are thinking about the policy change from time to time, because technology is changing. 10 years ago, we didn't have the big data issues, even smartphones. But now we have to deal with them. So if innovative government can be shifted, transformed for a future, we should revise our strategies from time to time. That's why I listed the long histories. And also this one showing information system management of the each government, each agencies. And there are a number of the issues which we have to talk, like inventory of the ICT asset, or integration of the information system for cloud computing as outsourcing. It's very low cost if we use the cloud system. And also, all the people or companies must know about the government new rule or guidelines. So we have to be very careful about the change of our government system on e-government affairs. And I'm always asking our ministers in Japan, we need a roadmap, because bureaucrat, government officer is so smart to prepare the papers. But we need the timelines. We need the budgetings on any project. Otherwise, it's just only a paper. So our information system by Chief Information Officer must have more realistic workload and roadmap for future actions. That's the important obligation of the CIO. So just saying, I'm working on the ITU on this field as well as the Special Envoy. And the conclusion, international cooperation for the best practice and lessons from other countries. That's why the EGA set up the workshop this afternoon. Invite the foreigners to talk about their lessons. And you may be aware of that. We have the flooded cyber security issues, so many issues, and also open data for transparencies. So this is the important core competencies of CIO. And effective evaluation system using PDCA cycle as enterprise architecture. You have a bunch of the project or program going on. who is evaluating all of them as the total optimizations, like product PDCA cycle, you know. So CIO must know this kind of the evaluation system after the action. And we need of the excellent government CIO as ICT leaders. In each ministry, each agency, each department, each corporation, public corporation, you have the CIO, as far as I know. But you need a CEO of CIO, or super CIO in each country, each government. So I hope you'll set up the this pyramid type of the hierarchies for CIO very soon. And I talked with the minister on this, about this systems of the decision making and workload, and he agreed to have the government CIO. I hope you can get very soon. And last one, our Waseda International Academy of CIO Annual International E-Government Ranking Survey, which I mentioned, is extremely useful for evaluating major nations, including Thailand. So you can utilize the content of our survey for improving your e-government, also status of Chief Information Officer. And this is my objective of coming here to Bangkok, to inform the government CIO or academia or business people in Bangkok to understand the best practice of e-government and CIO and international rankings for a kind of the lesson from the best practice and improve your e-government activities. And I hope Thai becomes the one of the top leaders in Asia in the future. Thank you very much.